All right, new at 5:30 on the same day as a funeral for a local historian killed in a car crash on Grove Avenue. We're learning new information about the case against the man accused of causing that accident. Shelby Brown is live in the newsroom. Shelby.
Well, Robert Gentle is no longer in jail, Rob. The decision to grant him a $50,000 bond came after the prosecutor and defense attorney each made their case to a Richmond judge. Now, as Gentle works his way through the legal system, loved ones of the victim struggle with the reality that she's gone. Friends and loved ones make their way to St. Paul's Episcopal Church to pay respects to Elizabeth Brown Pryor, a noted and award-winning author, historian, and former U.S. diplomat who served 2 decades in the Foreign Service. She was killed in a crash on Grove Avenue last week. Robert Gentle is now charged with involuntary manslaughter. But legal analyst Todd Stone explains this case may not be as cut and dried as one might think.
And the question is, do they have a mental defect? And secondly, does that create a situation where they don't understand the nature and consequences of their actions?
Gentle, who reportedly told police he wanted to fly the day of the crash, has a history of manic episodes. His defense team believes he experienced one that day. Stone says that's critical.
They will be, talking to a doctor and forming an opinion about whether or not he was sane at the time of this offense, and there's a very specific test for that.
Last week, Richmond prosecutors and his defense attorneys argued before a judge as to whether Gentle should be released on bond. His attorney said then they had trouble finding available psychiatric bed space. Attorney Ted Brunn says Gentle has since been released with several conditions and has checked into a local hospital. Again, Stone says his mental health situation could greatly impact the outcome of this case.
If you've got a mental defect and that mental defect causes you to not know the nature and consequences of your actions or not understand what you're doing, then that is what the sanity defense is all about. And lawyers can't create that.
Again, the suspect, Robert Gentle, is in a local hospital. His bond conditions require him, among other things, to continue his mental health treatment, and he also had to surrender his license and agree not to drive. He's due back in court in June. Julie?